So I guess I have to do the typical sorry for the inactivity spiel, but let's just skip that shit because I know that's not what you guys are here for. Anyway, I've noticed a trend in the Overwatch community that I think needs to be addressed. Now, it clearly isn't the entire Overwatch community because I don't like making blanket statements like that, but it happens often enough to be obnoxious. And that is that every hero-based shooter is somehow an Overwatch clone. Now let's just put aside the fact that I don't think the vast majority of these people know the definition of clone in this context. Let's really take some time to explore some of the games that are supposedly Overwatch clones. Now, a fair bit of warning, while I have played all of the games in question, my playtime on them varies. But enough of that, let's dive right into this, starting with the big one, Paladins. Everyone seems to be sold on as this just being a straight ripoff of Overwatch, and yes, the game having characters that appear very similar to those present in Overwatch doesn't help its case at all. But I do believe that there are key mechanics that help separate this game from Blizzard's, namely the item shop. This alone adds depth to the game because if you don't know how to build a certain hero, you will perform worse than somebody who does. There's also the mounts that add the ability for anybody to get somewhere quickly, and the fact that everyone heals after a certain while when not using abilities. Honestly though, these don't give it that much separation, but it's there. And admittedly, I also, just haven't played Paladins that much because it just doesn't hold my interest. But nevertheless, I don't believe that this is just a straight rip-off of Overwatch. Next we have the PR disaster of the games that I'm covering in this video, Battleborn. I honestly have no idea, though, why people think this is a clone of Overwatch, besides the fact that it has heroes. Like Paladins, you can customize your heroes in a way that Overwatch just doesn't let you. You can modify the abilities of your character, and this actually changes the way you play said character. Also, there's the fact that the game mode I played the most isn't really like anything in Overwatch. It's mostly just trying to kill a robot that the other team has. I mean, I don't really think there's payload or 2CP or King of the Hill in that, so there's that. Next we have a game I enjoyed quite a bit when I played it, Gigantic. And for anyone that has played it, you might be wondering how anyone could possibly think it's an Overwatch clone. And to that, I have to say this. Leave it to the Xbox community. And yeah, I know they haven't been a source of intelligence in recent years, but for every clip of this I saw on Xbox, there was at least 15 comments claiming it was an Overwatch clone. So I just described the objective in Gigantic, so I could just completely erase any opinion that this is a clone of Overwatch for you. Two teams face off with heroes in an effort to control points on the map, similar to Domination. You do this to empower your Guardian, which is a massive beast that resides in your spawn. Once you do, your Guardian will move over and attack the opposing teams, exposing a weak point. Your team must attack this point to get a wound. First to 3 wounds wins. That is the most basic, bare-bones explanation of a game of Gigantic. It doesn't even delve into the fact that, like Battleborn, you can morph your abilities, changing the way that hero plays, and also summons, which have varying effects and can help you control the points. Now, does that sound anything like Overwatch? No, not really. Yeah, okay. And finally, Lawbreakers. God, how I hate where this game is now. Not anything to do with the gameplay, I more or less hate where this game is in terms of word spreading about it. Because for all extensive purposes, Lawbreakers is a good game. A really good game. And yet nobody seems to know of it. Hell, there were people who didn't even know the beta was a thing until the day after the beta. Yeah. And some of those who, do know it, believe it to be a bootleg Overwatch. Well, what does Lawbreakers share with Overwatch? Well, there are set characters with very set in stone abilities. This isn't Battleborn or Gigantic. You can't change your hero's abilities. There are ultimate abilities, and Gunslinger, who people say is just Tracer. I mean, he holds 2 guns and blinks like her. Well, his 2 guns are burst fire, a pistol, and a single-shot pistol that can be charged up for more damage. And for his blink, it's just a better designed version of Tracer's. I mean, it allows the ability to blink upwards, and you can even shoot out of blink, which initiates a combo for really good damage. And, well, that's the brunt of it. Because you see, Lawbreakers doesn't share game modes with Overwatch. The game modes in Lawbreakers are as follows. Uplink, which is where both teams race to capture a neutral satellite and upload it in their base. After the upload percent hits 100, you must guard it for 20 seconds. Then we have Overcharge, which is like Uplink, except the upload percent is shared across both teams. So if you get it to 100% and the enemy team caps it, well, they have it at 100% now too. And finally, we have Turf War, which is like Domination, but with some, pretty interesting twists to it. Oh, and for those ultimates, they're pretty weak when you compare them to Overwatch's press Q and get results instantly. Oh no. No! Oh.
Wow, such amazing skill.
Ultimates in Lawbreakers don't wipe teams very often, if at all, and this emphasizes a skill-based environment while it's aim well or you die. So, that was a few games that have been claimed as nothing more than Overwatch copies by some of the community. Now, in hindsight, this isn't that bad in terms of the community issues that Overwatch is facing. I mean, we have throwers and levers and comp, and all of those make Overwatch's community worse than, it could be. But honestly, the people attempting to shoot down any other game that has heroes in it need to realize one thing. Blizzard isn't the most original company. They take already cemented ideas and they throw their own spin and polish on it. And this isn't to talk ill of them. They do what they do and they do it well. But just remember that just because a game has similar mechanics to Overwatch doesn't make it a clone or copy of Overwatch. Besides, we already know who the real shameless clones are.